The South is not a monolith. There are pockets of weirdness, awesomeness, and then there's Charleston, where for some time now, important things have been happening with food. A lot of them having to do with this guy.
I took a walk through this beautiful world. Felt the cool rain on my shoulder. Found something good in this beautiful world. I felt the rain getting colder. Sha-la-la-la-la, sha-la-la-la-la, sha-la-la-la-la,
What are we drinking? Beer? Are we bringing harder stuff? What's going on?
I usually go with a Budweiser and a Jägermeister.
Budweiser and a Jägermeister. So any notion of going local right out the window?
Yeah.
2 Jägers? Yeah, 2 Jägers. Yeah. Cheers. Good to
Cheers,
see you
man.
again, man.
The first one's never good. The first one is never good. But it gets easier after the first one.
So look, this is not my first time to Charleston, as you know. I did do a show here before, and I'm still taking shit about it. Apparently, I really f***ed up the first time I came here because I made a number of errors. Apparently, none more egregious than going out for like doing an oyster roast and drinking champagne.
I've never heard of such a thing. Well, champagne of beers is okay with oysters.
See, that's what. It must have been a typo.
Maybe somebody got confused somewhere.
Yeah, anyway, I got it wrong. This time, I'm getting it right, which is why I've come to you.
You could be forgiven for underestimating Sean Brock first time you meet him. I know I did. I saw a scruffy-looking dude in a trucker cap who always seemed to have a bottle of really good bourbon on hand.
Stetson Weller, 1991, 18 years old. This is the end of great whiskey. It didn't come in this bottle. This is my travel bottle because it's plastic, you see, so it don't break when you get rowdy.
It took me a little time to discover the ferocious intellect, the inquiring nature, the uniquely focused and purposeful talent of the man. Without a doubt, one of America's most important chefs. A guy who's redefining what not just Southern cooking is, was, and can be, but American cooking as a whole.
We're going to talk a lot about this over the next week, about the notions of universal awesomeness. Is the Waffle House universally awesome?
We have one choice for late night eating, and it's the Waffle House. And they create this environment where no matter how blitzed you are or how normal you are welcome and treated equally with an experience. It's not just like, eating a plate of food.
You're talking about it like it's a magical spiritual place.
It's beyond a magical spiritual place.
It is indeed marvelous. An irony-free zone where everything is beautiful and nothing hurts. Where everybody, regardless of race, creed, color, or degree of inebriation, is welcomed. Its warm yellow glow, a beacon of hope and salvation, inviting the hungry, the lost, the seriously hammered, all across the South to come inside. A place of safety and nourishment. It never closes. It is always, always faithful, always there for you.
When I was a kid, I was obsessed with this place because I wanted to be a chef. And this is the only place I'd ever been to where I actually watched people cook. So this was action to me, because I would see these people cooking at a pace and cooking for people who were completely out of control, but still providing hospitality. It was one of the things that really helped me fall in love with cooking.
Waffle House.
Yes,
I can't believe I didn't know about this.
I am unbelievably, in spite of my world travels, new to the wonders of the Waffle House and unfamiliar with its ways. The terminology, for instance, is new to me.
Now look, I'm looking at my hash brown, and I am already confused and enticed.
Here's the thing,
Sausage
you
gravy.
can't go all in, because you want everything.
I need to make a choice.
So there's a balance. And then when you find your balance, you memorize it. I go scattered, covered, smothered chunks.
Which means I gather scattered on the griddle, heaped with brown onions, cheese, and chunks of hickory smoked ham.
That's my style. Like, I've been doing that since day one. And I don't even know what that means.
You know what I know? I don't want waffles at the Waffle House.
Bullshit, man. You have to have...
Waffles?
Okay, you have to have pecan waffle. Now, so what I've devised as a chef is a tasting menu experience where you can sit down and really experience what this place does. And you start out, first thing you have, pecan waffle.
Really?
Right, gentlemen.
Oh.
Oh, the pecan waffle. You just crush it. You put you
Just slather it.
I want it to be swimming in syrup and homogenized vegetable oil.
Oh, that's good. That's good.
See, you don't come here expecting the French Laundry. You come here expecting something amazing.
This is better than the French Laundry, man.
And then, second course, patty melt, split. Patty melt. Come on. That's not insanely delicious.
Oh, God
Not
damn.
insanely delicious.
No meal is complete without sunny side up egg.
Oh, yeah.
And then a green salad with some Thousand Island dressing would be amazing. Would you rather have thin cut pork chops or T-bone?
I would like both.
Heinz 57 is the best, man. One of the more complex sauces in the American repertoire.
Really?
You want to talk shit about it? This is sauce work. Trust me, this is gonna change your life.
No, that's wrong, man. Come on.
So there's a brilliant human being who had a recipe that was amazing, and they got a bad rap.
You're talking about like Ronald McDonald. He had a good idea. No, you're wrong. I'm sorry. Here's where we part ways, my friend. Here's my sauce.
After a few bites of waffle, a burger, a hunk of generic T-bone, and some hash browns, one feels drawn right to the center of what makes our country great. An America yeah moment that drives me to clamber up on the counter and start reciting Walt Whitman, the Star-Spangled Banner, Jose Can You See, and you know what? I doubt I'd be the first.
Oh my
Give me a
God.
break.
The umami happened.
Yes, yeah, give me a break.
You know what umami means in Japanese? Actually, the literal translation of umami?
Orgasm?
No. Umami means, in Japanese, literally, it means, I will suck your for a bite of that burger.
You bite the pork chop.
Everybody needs a place, a community, something larger than oneself to care about, to be part of. a place to hide when times get tough, where you're accepted for who you are, where the rhythms of a summer afternoon, the crack of a bat, the roar of the crowd are music. Behold the mighty Charleston RiverDogs, a minor league feeder team for the New York Yankees. Meet one of the owners of the Charleston RiverDogs, Charleston resident Bill Murray.
Just said I've had too many beers to drive. I'm gonna take shotgun.
We're gonna see how fast he can go all the way around the outfield.
Today, the RiverDogs are facing the evil forces of the dreaded Savannah Sandgnats.
Yow! That's gonna score a run, and that's gonna leave a mark. He's gonna hold him.
Bad day for the Sandgnats.
You're hated. You're hated.
We will crush you like a, well, Sandgnat.
A sandgnat has almost no backbone, almost no skeletal structure. They fold.
As difficult as it might have been to forego the joys of the bacon-wrapped foot-long corn dog known as the pig on a stick, we knew we'd be coming here. Husk, Sean's restaurant in downtown Charleston, one of two that have helped make the city a fine dining destination.
So I want to know, Southern living, it's very different up there and down here. It's a big transition. Easy for you or not?
It's easy. The driving was the real transition because I drive like a New York person. And when you come here driving like New York, it takes you a while to recover. But, you know, I'm right on the edge here, like telling people that this is a really nice place to come. And really, I don't want anyone else to come. I like it the way it is. There's a lot of insects. It's really, really hot in the summer. And the traffic is worse than it ever was.
Husk directly addresses Southern culinary traditions using the best of modern techniques, but always, always respecting the originals and who made them.
It's a pressing matter to redefine Southern food. If I were a Southerner, I would make it a personal mission because it was distorted for so long. But as a Northerner, why should Northerners care?
Well, I think if you look at the history of food in America, there's no denying that Southern food was the first, true cuisine that had this foundation, and that's important to preserve. And to me, though, it kind of goes back to the idea of you should be cooking and preserving and celebrating the food of your grandmother.
People take a real pride in their ability to cook my aunt's recipe, my grandmother's recipe, of this is how we made these. And the standard of food here is so high that when I go around any place, I just go, eh.
Country ham, bread and butter pickles, and of course, Sean being Sean, there will be bourbon.
I just like to start a meal with pickles and ham. I'll try not to geek out too much, but this is a very special breed of pig that came over here in the 1500s called Ossabaw. The Spaniards brought it. It has a very particular flavor. And this one's aged 3 years.
It's ridiculously good. That's the best American ham I've ever had, far and
thank
away.
you.
That is unbelievable.
These two things together, these are my two favorite things in the whole entire world. Stitzel-Weller whiskey and the old country ham. So this is an old dish that I dug up in one of those old books that I study. It's an old-fashioned oyster pie.
Ooh.
So just grab your spoon and just dig all the way down. The oysters are in the bottom.
How old is this recipe?
It was well documented in the 19th century, pre-Civil War.
That's good. Yes.
Oh, God.
So, shrimp and grits is the dish of Charleston. I mean, it really is. It's the dish I crave when I leave Charleston and come back. This version is one of the older ones where we actually make hominy first by nixtamalizing the corn. So you'll taste the grits are a little bit different.
Oh, yes. Oh, that's really great looking.
And then we make a brown gravy which is the most classic way, and on top, crispy pig ears.
You get grannies coming and saying, I haven't tasted this since I was a little kid?
Yeah, exactly, man.
Wow, that's good.
We were trying to replicate the emotion of that the Southern food provides you in a time where good ingredients weren't available. So we made up for tasteless ingredients by frying them or dumping butter on them.
Right.
Now we don't have to.
Wow, what's going on here? This is an onslaught of awesomeness here.
We didn't order this.
So Hoppin' John, so pit beans that have been cooking over the fire all day. These are the red peas that came from West Africa. This is the original Carolina gold rice, hand harvested with Benny. Grilled whiting, which is what nobody eats in Charleston in restaurants. It's what everybody eats in homes, with some spring vegetables. And then this is suckling pig. That's the same breed Ossabaw as we had earlier with the ham, mixed with a mule foot, cooked on a spit, some cream corn and cornbread.
Wow.
So this is going to be my first mule foot.
But this is like my favorite way to eat, just family style, pass stuff around.
Oh, yeah. The rice is amazing.
It's amazing.
Yeah. You see Bubba Gump. You get angry?
I get very angry.
For me, it's Chili's. Because you see Chili's along the Mexican border. It's like, what the? I'm sorry, do we have a shortage of Mexicans in this party? There's like a shortage of good food, and you're eating at Chili's? I really want to pull up the car, get a tire iron, and walk in and just straighten some people out.
Clean house, Roadhouse style.
Roadhouse, vastly underrated film.
You guys are both into Roadhouse?
Such a great film. Easy. What else do you need to know? You can deconstruct this film forever. The more you watch it, the more mysteries unfold.
I've never seen anyone enjoy Roadhouse more than I do.
What?
My friend's wife, Kelly Lynch, plays the doctor that stitches up Patrick Swayze in the movie.
Yes.
She's the romantic interest, right? The unattainable romantic interest. And I have, for the last, probably about 25 years, called his home in the middle of the night and said, "You don't know me, but your wife's getting slammed up against the wall by Patrick Swayze. She's not putting up much of a fight." And then hang up.
It is in many ways a perfect film.
It's a whiskey talking.
What is down-home Southern cooking? Where did it come from? Who's responsible? Well, it's always useful when asking those kinds of questions, wherever you are, to ask first, who did the cooking back then, in the beginning? Where did they come from?
When you meet people here, you know that you're seeing a direct descendant of a slave that was here after the slaves were freed.
Ashley Green grew up on Mosquito Beach on James Island in Charleston. Her mother owns the property, which has been in her family for generations. Fact of the matter is, in the Old South, back when the dishes, flavors, and ingredients of Southern cooking, which is to say American cooking as opposed to European, chances are that food was grown, gathered, produced, and prepared by African slaves. Chef DJ Dennis has made it a personal mission to celebrate and protect the culinary traditions his ancestors passed down to him.
So this is some local blue crab, just fresh in season. This is a play on some garlic crabs, but it's a shrimp butter instead of the garlic butter. And then you have that play of, the French influence into the cuisine right here.
The flavors and textures and foodways of West Africa are all over Southern cooking, and there are few better places to see how short the line between there and here than Gullah culture.
I'm really enjoying this, I gotta tell you.
This is so delicious.
Damn.
Oh my goodness.
How African is traditional Gullah cooking?
Well, I think what happens is you change the location of the people, but you did not change who the people were. You did not change the information that they came with their traditions.
If you look at the history of American food, you'll quickly see that this is one of the first true cuisines of America.
Oh, what's that? What is this? This looks good.
We going back to West Africa.
All right.
Soft-shell crabs and conch in a decidedly West African-inflected peanut stew with Carolina rice, sautéed squash, and zucchini.
Oh, that's so good.
Man, it's been a while since I had conch.
Clearly, I mean, correct me if I'm wrong, Sean, there's a different kind of interest in Charleston than existed 20 years ago, right? Is something happening here, and is it a good, what's
Good and
changed?
bad. So, I mean, it's good to have people to have a more diverse community in a sense, but then you also lose a little bit.
The danger is they're coming to Charleston because of the beauty, and we're having to fight against, bigger entities that seek to get the land so that they can develop it. And so we're fighting to keep what's been ours. And so it's important for us to preserve this area, preserve this culture for generations to come.
According to the U.S. government, almost 50% of all the children in this country fail to get their recommended daily allowance of vitamin.
Fast food restaurants have discovered that we like our food heavily salted.
Just add water and 2 of your own fresh eggs.
Because of industry's innovations in farm chemicals and machinery. Taste it.
How did it happen that we ended up with Southern food being the most sort of cruelly hijacked into this cartoonish parody of itself?
Modern, clean, advanced, complete meat processing.
I think it's a combination of 2 massive cultural influences that came together at the same time. The idea of industrialization came late to the South. When it hit, we got pellagra. The first nutrition laws in America were written in South Carolina because everybody moved into mill villages and immediately started eating processed food because they weren't growing their food anymore. The second thing that happened is there was a massive amount of expertise that was lost during the Civil War.
A lot of the Southern revival, the whole turnaround, started with this guy, Glenn Roberts, a man who asked a simple question: how come grits aren't as good as they used to be? And by starting the heirloom grain company, Anson Mills decided to do something about it.
So why do this? Why do something as unwanted, meaning nobody was particularly crying after? We need rice that used to taste like it did in 1837. We need grits, better grits. What called to you that you felt compelled to answer?
I'm a cuisine whore. I think that culture is interactive with cuisine. As soon as you look at cuisine, you're looking at politics, you're looking at medicine, you're looking at the advanced thinking.
I'll agree with you that there's nothing more political than food.
You got it.
Chef Mike Lotta's restaurant Fig was one of the first and most important on the Charleston scene, determined to source the kind of local products that you used to find everywhere in the Low Country. As much as I'd like to illustrate that solid grounding in traditional ingredients and preparations with my order, I could not resist the soft-shell crabs, which are just in season, with a pasta and shaved botarga, which frankly, I'd slit my best friend's throat for.
Wow, that looks great.
Yeah.
That's beautiful.
Sweet. When you had your first forkful of proper rice, is there an instinct to go out and sort of bludgeon the rest of the world in it, understanding what you have just come to understand?
I did not run up and down the streets of Charleston. It was tough to dislodge people here. So I just went straight to San Francisco, and I gave away tons of product. And guess what? They went crazy.
slow-baked black bass, Anson Mills farro, ramps in season, and lettuces. And this ode to all things Glenn is responsible for bringing back: heirloom rice and peas, suckling Ossabaw pig, and chicken confit with Carolina gold rice.
Oh, that's good.
Isn't that great? This is phenomenal. These peas are killer.
I'm hitting the rice next.
That's got the entire history of Southern agriculture in it.
Right here.
Right there, in that little bowl. This whole idea of having a century in a dish, none of this stuff was here 20 years ago.
Near the end of the Civil War, during General Sherman's Scorched Earth campaign, seed stores were a favored target. It was largely African slaves who were able to save the seeds that Glenn is now able to locate and reintroduce.
It is those people who kept the corn. It is those people who kept the cowpeas. It's those people who kept the vegetables because they couldn't buy their way out of not doing it.
You know, when you talk about chitlins, pigfoot, hog maws, African Americans in the North do not embrace those poor people classics of the South. There's an overlay of pain and oppression that goes with it. How do we combat that?
What you're speaking about is walking away from your own culinary heritage because of social sensitivity. Bottom line is, if you want something that's compelling, that draws on your soul, this is why they call it soul food.
I need the finest in turkey-killing couture. I'm going to be ninja-like, and I want to look cool.
Well, you know, camouflage is the standard go-out wear in South Carolina, so...
I'm bringing that look to New York.
A cool, clear morning, and I do what any sensible Charlestonian would do on a day like this: look for turkeys to kill.
So pants, need those.
All right. You know, in South Carolina, our state bird is the mosquito.
Right, so I want to be covered head to toe.
Next thing, we need to get your face covered up.
I'm going in a Waffle House wearing this. This is totally me.
We do have some turkey vests.
A turkey vest, yes. I'm gonna have it.
This is your last day on Earth, Mr. Turkey. You will die now. Prepare to meet your maker.
Here's the thing about hunting. The likelihood of me successfully shooting even the stupidest animal on camera are about the same as Donald Trump being gracious to anybody or Adam Sandler making a good movie. Basically, a magical unicorn is going to land in front of me and shower me with candy and Vicodins before I shoot a freaking turkey on camera. That shot you heard was me shooting a producer in the calf and telling him to hobble over to the Piggly Wiggly for a frozen gobbler before he bleeds out. And like magic, behold, turkey. Slow, slow barbecue turkey with all the sides you want and need.
What do we got going on here, Chef?
Pig's feet and collard greens.
Oh,
Pickled
damn.
pig's feet and collard greens.
Oh, yes.
And then barbecue coleslaw, some potato salad with ramps, baked red peas.
Mm-hmm. Oh, there's my weakness right there.
And we made you some very special
mac and cheese.
orange mac and cheese.
I do love bright orange mac and cheese, as you know. And that's a turkey.
Yep.
Let that be a lesson to you.
Like going to Grandma's house.
Mike Lotta from Fig is here, and Jeff Allen, owner of Rebellion Farm.
So at this point, how many others are there like you guys, like who are basically keeping it real as far as real Southern culinary traditions as opposed to sort of the jokey ones?
I feel like just about everybody here is.
More than you would think.
Well, how many people is that?
12.
Yeah, in a town like this, that's pretty amazing.
God damn, this is good. Pig's feet and green, it's just ridiculously good.
This is really moist for a wild turkey.
Like people who say they don't like turkey need to eat this.
So what's your impression of Charleston?
It's it's one of those weird, or distinctly American mutations, kind of like rock and roll or jazz or blues.
That's what makes Charleston so cool, though. There's really nothing else like it in America. And it's been unique since the early part of the 18th century. And the city works hard to preserve that. We have an incredibly gorgeous city that people want to visit, so we have the advantage of tourism.
The clientele definitely gives us the opportunity to be this progressive or
They almost
relevant.
push us to be more than we could even be.
We have an active cuisine. I mean, we've recovered all these, ingredients and rediscovered a lot of the agricultural influences that were destroyed in the 20th century. But we're not just recreating history. We're not going back and cooking the Civil War. These guys are pushing the food forward here, and we're creating a new cuisine.
There's got to be a happy day when you take it a Caesar off the menu forever.
Yeah.
I'm gonna get some more of that mac and cheese in a minute.
Hell yeah.
We're one of the last few hunters in the world. There's no store for us to go offshore to go and pick those fish up. We have to look for them. We have to go and sort of find the ones we're allowed to harvest. We are the last of the final frontier of hunters, to go in and to feed the world. And that's what we do.
Mark Marhefka has been a fisherman since the 70s. He takes an unusual and much-needed approach to catching fish. Instead of raking the sea of the same overfished, mindlessly popular species, he passionately promotes the just as good and usually better, less known and underutilized stuff.
But one of the great things about the Low Country is the flavor of our waterways, and that wasn't being represented properly in all the restaurants. Then all of a sudden, I hear about this guy who has the most beautiful fish you've ever seen, but you got to go to the dock and get it.
Frustrated by the conventional wisdom, by the mishandling of fish by other distributors, and the narrow range available on the market, he became his own dealer, starting Abundance Seafood, one of the country's first CSFs, or community-supported fisheries. He's changed the way people think about so-called trash fish.
Look at how beautiful that is.
Today's catch, triggerfish.
Any market for these things?
Oh, my God.
Yeah?
Well,
We can't go and keep it in-house enough.
No, really?
The crazy thing is, it's like, even 5 years ago, there wasn't a single one of these on the menu. Before we all knew Mark, everyone had the same crap on the menu: tuna, salmon, grouper, snapper, which is delicious stuff, but as we all know, we've overfished that. And Mark really taught all of us the beauty of stuff like this.
Nice.
This is a half-shell style, so you just leave the scale on, the skin on, and just cook it one side up. Oh.
It's sort of basting itself.
Yeah. Makes like a cup. It's very Creole.
Is there something out there that you're seeing that's still a hard sell that you wish people would
One of
jump?
the hardest sells is amberjack.
Amberjack, for sure.
Amberjack.
The Japanese love it.
Yeah.
Amberjack. Ooh, look at that. That is pretty. Smells good.
Wow. Yum.
Oh, man.
I can eat that 365 days.
Ah, charcoal and fish.
Yeah,
Man.
I know.
That's so
I know.
good.
Damn, that's good.
Wow. Everybody thinks there's all this great barbecue in the South. It's 99% terrible barbecue. And so to get real barbecue, you gotta drive.
Way out in the weeds, off the main road, and good freaking luck if you could find it, is one of the most respected barbecue joints in the US of A, run by one of the most respected old-school pitmasters. Ask a chef. Ask anybody who knows good barbecue, and they will tell you where to go. Here, a rundown-looking takeout about 2 hours drive out of Charleston in Hemingway, South Carolina.
Now, how long have you been doing this?
Since I was 11. Grew up doing this.
Crazy.
My family started in 1972, so I grew up running around this place.
It's hard.
It is.
That's why no one does it, man. That's why there's nothing but bad barbecue. Because in my opinion, the only true way to make barbecue is the burn barrel and the pits, and you gotta stay up all night.
All night.
Rodney Scott a man sought after all over the world for some of the finest whole hog barbecue there is. Rodney and his family have been doing it like this and only like this for 43 years. Burn barrel, fresh coals, slow cooked all night in the pit. There are no shortcuts. This ain't a craft, this is a calling.
Look at that.
Yes.
Oh, man.
You gotta have a little bit of white bread with it.
Yeah,
At least
no
a little
doubt.
bit of white.
Yeah, see, this is what everybody always gets wrong in New York. They serve cornbread with barbecue, which of course falls into crumbles. You can't. You gotta have that.
Look at that. This is what we call pork spaghetti.
Gotta have some of that.
Man, that sauce is nice too. It's perfect, right?
Vinegar and pepper.
Yeah, it's so good.
That's my dad's recipe.
Do you do not the standard South Carolina mustard dressing at all? I'm sure people are gonna be pissed at me about this because people feel strongly about these things, but I was not liking that mustard thing.
Around here, you scream mustard, they'll think it's going on a hot dog. It's the only thing they know about mustard here.
Oh, good. Oh, man, that's just so good. Now, how many hours about the pig is cooking?
12 hours.
About 12.
You have to love it. You have to be head over heels in love with it to do that every day. I mean, you ever get sick of eating barbecue?
No, not yet. Not yet.
So we're all gonna be rolling out of here with the Rodney Scott cologne on.
What are we fishing for here?
Well, out here we've got spot-tailed bass, flounder, sea trout.
Really?
Yeah.
Woohoo, watch out there. I got you.
Yeah, and the way you fish here, the idea is just to throw it out as far as you can, and then you just leave it.
Oh, just leave it.
Yeah, that's the cool thing about fishing out here.
Oh, good. So I don't have to be working. There's not so much skill involved. So how am I doing in the learning to be a redneck department? Not wearing shoes.
You're looking good right now without shoes on, a fishing pole in your hand on a dock. That's pretty awesome. It's a different pace here, man. You know, this is the way to live.
I do enjoy it. Love that Waffle House, man. I need a Waffle House. I'm trying to tell you, that was like a... I like your restaurant and all. I guess you're some kind of good chef, but that Waffle House,
Man, I'm
that
telling
is
you.
a phenomenon.
It really is. It's good with boiled peanuts. It's whiskey.
Oh, yeah? That's good. Oh,
So
that is
good,
nice.
man. It's so good. How's the visit to Charleston?
Oh, it's been great. This is a special place. It really is.
Well, it's very unique. It's been a lot of fun to watch the food scene here go from kind of what everybody else is doing and was doing to doing something very singular, very special.
And when you got a tradition and when you have tradition and recipes and a story behind food like you have here, that's a really cool thing.
Well, the thing is I'm still discovering stuff here. I've been here 12 years.
Oh, that barbecue that Rodney gave us was sick, man.
He is a force to be reckoned with, man. Like, you know, you talk about Europe, everybody travels hours to go to El Bulli or travels hours by car to go to Michel Bras. It's the same thing here. We just do it for barbecue. Got a hit?
I don't know. Let's see. Yeah.
You did. It bit right below the hook.
Yeah. So that's an intelligent mother fish too. Big and intelligent.
So just hook up under the bottom lip.
Ouch. Oh. Open. Open up, mother. Whoa, he's up my legs because that's anal-seeking bait. Where do you think you're going, buddy? It's like one of those vampire. It's like one of those anal-seeking. Those fish in the Amazon that swim up your col. Yeah, nice try, buddy.
It's quiet on the river this morning. Ain't nobody on the water but me. But the sun's coming on and it won't be long, but there's a little more weight coming in this creek. I put the line out in the water in
Who
the morning.
doesn't want to end with this? The old fishing hole. Quality bourbon, no need for shoes.
I think the crabs are down there just having a minnow buffet.
In such circumstances, whether you actually catch any fish is completely beside the point.
Come on, man, not bad for a Yankee.
Good, man. Better than my last cast.
Making noise with the alligator boys, 20 miles east of Goshen.